Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of 15-Minute Builds. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to build for 15 minutes, and we're just going to see how many wall designs we can come up with. I had someone ask me about different ways you can make a wall and make it look good and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to do that. So let's go ahead and get to building. I'm going to put 15 minutes on the clock starting right now. So the first wall design that I want to try out is dark prismarine and cyan stained clay. And it's pretty easy. We're just going to go up like 4 blocks with pillars like this. And we'll go like so. And then we'll add on top of that another row of the dark gray stain, or the cyan stained clay. And then behind it, we're just going to put dark prismarine like that. So there we go. It's a pretty simple wall design. Very, very easy. But it looks really good. I think this would look good as like the side of maybe a bridge or a wall of some sort. Not a wall like the wall of of a house, but I mean a wall like a wall that would surround a village or something like that. So that one's pretty easy. Next, let's grab some spruce logs, and we'll do something kind of rustic. Maybe we'll go to about here. We'll leave like a gap of 4 in between, and let's actually bring that down. And then I think behind the wall, we'll maybe put some oak like this, and we'll bring it up and over with space for a window there. And then I think I'll take some stone slabs and just top that off, make that real simple, and then we can even take some glass panes and fill those in. So we've got a pretty simple wall design there as well. Now, what if you need a flat wall? What if your wall needs to be entirely flat? How can you still make it look interesting? Well, let's take some brick. Let's use brick for this. What you could do is something like this. Let's just build this over for a while. So we've got our wall like this, right? And it can only be 1 block thick. Well, you can still make this a little bit interesting by maybe taking out these sections and doing something like that with upside down stairs. Or you could do something like that as well, although I don't really care for that too much. I like this one much better. So that one's pretty easy. Now, what if you're making like an ancient temple or something, and you want holes in the wall, you want it to look kind of run down and beat up? Let's grab a variety of different materials that are all kind of similar. So let's start, you know what, let's just do this. Let's use our world, there we go. Let's use our world edit command here. This is what, 98? There we go. So we've got a stone brick wall, right, to start with. Well, we can mix in some other materials kind of randomly, and that will help it look better in and of itself just by doing that. Maybe one up here as well. And then we'll do kind of the same thing. Maybe here. And like that. That looks pretty good and random. With some other similar materials, but still different. So we've got something like this, right? And then we can even mix in maybe a little bit of cobble here and there to make it look really kind of beat up. So like in my head, I think stone brick is the best, and then it kind of deteriorates to mossy, and then it goes cracked, and then it goes cobble from there, like when it's really worn down and beat up. We could even take that a step further and add in some gravel as well. And gravel is like even after cobblestone. It's just completely destroyed and mangled. So we get something like that. And you can see this wall looks way better than the original completely flat stone brick wall, okay? So now, kind of along that same idea, let's just build up another wall here. And, oh, what am I doing? There we go. So we'll do something like this. You can use stairs to kind of create a pattern as well. So we get something like this, right? And then maybe here we go the opposite direction. So we'd go like this instead. And you can see that creates this kind of mosaic shape type thing. You could even get real in depth and make like faces and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So kind of interesting as well. Now let's go ahead and let's move back to over here and let's get into some other stuff. If you're looking for kind of a modern-ish design, we can maybe use a couple different materials. I really like cyan stained clay as a building material. I think it's really smooth. It works really well. But something like this for the wall, and then maybe we can take like some spruce. Do I have spruce slabs? There we go. And we can do something like this. We're just kind of creating this depth here, which is what we're looking for. And it all depends on how high you need this wall to be. But, you know, something along these lines. And then maybe we could do, like pillars on the sides here. And back here, we could build this up again. So to be something like that. And then on top of the whole thing, we might top it off with like a spruce roof, I guess is what we would call it. So we do something like this. By the way, guys, I'm making these roof designs up on the spot. I don't have these planned out. So, and you know what? I think I like another pillar right there. So something like that. I like the way that that looks. Let's give ourselves a little space to work here. And let's see if maybe we can come up with kind of a cool medieval stone castle-y type design. Let's get rid of this. I'm going to need stone brick stairs. There we go. And we can maybe do something like this. So we'll get kind of our pillars going. And then we'll connect them like so. And let's put one more pillar right here. Because this is just kind of to give you the idea more than anything else. Okay, so we get something like that going, right? And then we can maybe add some feet to it. Like this. Right? Just to kind of create that effect of walls. And we'll bring that one over there as well. And this would just repeat for as long as you need it to. So we get something going like that. And then maybe behind that, we would use some other material, like maybe spruce. Spruce might look good. Let's give that a try and see what we think. How does that look for like a wall on a castle or on a... I don't care for that. Let's not do that one. Maybe we'll go back to kind of what we did over here, and we'll just grab a number of these materials, and we can kind of fill in this space like so. There we go. So you've got that back there. But then we do kind of a combination of what we did before. Just kind of add some of these extra textures in there to make it a bit more interesting than it was. Something like that. And just mix some of this other stuff in. So we get, you know, kind of this castle effect. We could even mix a little bit into these pillars as well, which might look pretty good. Maybe like up here and there, and then maybe here and here or something. You know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Now up here, I think I'm going to go ahead and bring that out like so. We'll take our stone brick stairs and maybe do something like that. And I need some stone brick slabs. There we go. And then we'll go every other one like this. And then what we could do is plop another stone brick on top of them and go with the crenellations, right? Something like that. And then here, an upside down stone brick stair to kind of create that walled castle-y effect that I actually like that a lot. That looks pretty good. Now we can only really do anything as far as additional textures. We can really only do anything with these bricks right here because all the rest of them are stairs. But that's okay. That's not a big deal. So we can just get something like that. And then the inside of it could be like a spruce or however you want to do it. So we get something going. Okay. Now next, let's talk about maybe a house. Maybe we'll want to build a house, right? So what we could do, I need some grass, I need some cobble, and we'll just use some oak to keep it simple, okay? So say we're laying out the walls of a house, right? And we'll say it's a relatively small house. We'll just say it's like, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. The dimensions aren't important here. So we get something like this, right? And then on top of that, we want to have the oak going. So, set 5. Oh, just kidding. Undo. Walls 5. There we go. So you've got something like this. Now, this looks pretty bad. Let's be honest here, guys. This looks pretty terrible. So there's a few things we can do to kind of dress it up. If there's grass going around the house, and you have little bits of the foundation just kind of peeking out rather than, being really obvious, I actually like the way that looks quite a lot. So now obviously this would be better if we had the right terrain for it, but I think you guys kind of get the idea. We get just little bits of the foundation kind of peeking out there to let you know that it's there. And then we can also get pretty simple once again and just take some stairs and maybe add in our windows like this, right? So we'd have like these would be the windows to the house. It's not symmetrical. That's gonna bother me that it's not symmetrical. We're gonna make it symmetrical because otherwise I'm going to be annoyed. So we got our windows like so, and we can just plop them in like this. So then you get kind of this effect right here where you can see the foundation a little bit. You know that it's there, but it doesn't look super weird because there's this elevation change, this depth change at the same level as the cobblestone. So that works out pretty well for foundations. If you don't have a whole lot of materials, if you want it to be real simple, like a starter house type thing, that's one option. Let's see, what else can we come up with? How much time we have? We only have like 2 minutes left. Maybe we could do something kind of modern-ish, kind of industrial. Iron bricks can make a really good building block. Or iron blocks can make a relatively decent building block if you use them correctly. And then for windows, you can use ice, and that looks pretty good. It looks even better if you push that back 1 block and then basically make your walls 2 blocks thick, right? So we'd have like this whole area would be covered like that. There we go. So we'd have something like this, and ideally it would actually be 3 blocks thick because you'd want the same effect of that depth on the inside. But ice and iron go very well together if you're looking to make something kind of science fiction-y or futuristic or whatever. Another effect that I like... Oh, I've only got a minute left. Holy cow. All right, let's speed this up. Let's go quick. Spruce, I'm not gonna have time for this, am I? I can't find my spruce blocks. There we go. And then we'll grab maybe, I don't know, some dark oak fences. Wow, we are almost out of time. Okay. So we get something like this. I got to do this super quick. But you can do something along these lines. Plop some fences down here. And then bring this up like that. And it kind of creates this effect that you see here. Right? So you got kind of this depth. You got the fences underneath. But I am out of time. So 14 minutes and 52 seconds. I'm not going to have time for another wall in there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a little different than what we normally do. But it was just a bunch of different wall designs, ideas. Maybe you got some inspiration from it. I hope you did. But that's going to do it for me, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it. And it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.